Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fallen London. Today we're going to be carrying on with the serial story, Evolution, and we need to speak to the Youthful Naturalist aboard our ship. I believe we need to discuss the diving bell. How are the assembling and calibration coming along? Between scouring the undersea for parts and charts, the Youthful Naturalist buries himself in documents. Not just the Royal Navy's stolen files, but also engineering manuals and biology textbooks. One philosophical treatise on rubbery anatomy, written by the esteemed Professor W, but never published, is a resource that he consults constantly. Well, we have everything we need. Tools, materials, knowledge, blueprints. You're ready. Now we have everything, except somewhere to build. We need space, we need labour, we need monks, says the naturalist. Godfall, that's the ticket. The brothers know us, they can handle amber. A normal shipyard would be useless, but Saint Stalactite's acolytes? Our materials aren't too hazardous for them. Sail to Godfall to construct the experimental diving bell. Okay, well, let's go to Godfall. Hopefully it's not too far away. I don't actually remember where I am. Here we are. Let's dock at Godfall. You feel eyes upon your ship as you approach the island, though there is no one to be seen. I'm assuming it's this option right here. Back to the Brotherhood. Godfall's shores remain clotted with wax. Not all the birds have been buried, whether it's Z or in someone's stomach, after the second sacristan's attack. Bloody feathers still stick to the rocks, but the brothers are back in good spirits. Chanting carries from the cloisters. Drunken brawls break out, skulls cracking merrily. Monks cheer and pray and curse their saint, and bless him, and begin another pilgrimage. Let's approach the abbot commander. "By Saint Stalactite's suction cups," he cries, spotting the youthful naturalist. His six-armed embrace threatens to squeeze the dear lad into jelly. "It's good to see you too," splutters the naturalist. When the abbot commander releases him, he slips like a deboned fish onto the shore. His arms and legs flop, his neck twists. He snaps it back, cartilage crunching, and then he starts to giggle. His giggles evolve into chuckles, laughs, delirium. The abbot commander laughs too, roaring with relief. Other monks hear and tumble down from the monastery, carrying bottles to celebrate. Hey, look at all this stuff. Drinks for everyone. Monks revel along the shoreline, swilling wine. They toast the youthful naturalist's escape. They'd like to put him on a chair and carry him around. They can't find a chair. All the chairs were broken in a brawl, and the ottomans and footstools too. Between the fistfights and tipsy hymns, the naturalist speaks to the abbot commander about the diving bell. Would the brothers assist? With sufficient incentive? Perhaps. Provide sufficient incentive. Sufficiency on this island would empty most cellars in London. Oh my god, it's going to take 5 cellars of wine? Ooh, good lord, I'm glad I have those. That's a lot of wine. He's on a chair. They found one. There were plenty, in fact, where they just hadn't looked, namely in the dining hall, the dormitory, the kitchen. They cart the youthful naturalist up and down. They guzzle wine at a tremendous rate. They agree to help. Of course they'll help. You're building what? Point them in the right direction. Tell them what to do. They don't mind losing fingers, toes. They'll grow back, sprouting new polyps. Their muscles ripple and balloon. Their biceps bulge with apparent autonomy. You don't mind if they keep drinking, do you? Wow, we gained 7 strong back labour. That's actually a really good trade. Good lord. Wine bottles litter the shore, stuck to the residual wax. The brothers are still drinking. Some stumble into the water and start to wrestle. The abbot commander serves as a referee. But the youthful naturalist is busy elsewhere. He's unloading equipment from your ship, dragging crates towards the shattered citadel. When he's ready, the monks will join him. Let's speak with the youthful naturalist. Now that the monks have agreed to help, what comes next? He pauses to catch his breath. So many supplies to unload, while the brothers are merrymaking. The youthful naturalist stares at the false stars. Cold pinpricks, distant constellations, crawling, slowly, slowly through the dark. Has he forgotten you're here? He's still gazing aloft. I'm so tired, he finally says. His voice is hoarse. In the quiet, away from the others, he's someone else. The shaping pools. That's where we'll build the bell. His eyes are sunken, surrounded by sleepless circles. This has to work. Embark on a pilgrimage to enter the shattered citadel. Once you're inside, step away from the pilgrim's path by selecting perhaps not during the pilgrimage. You'll find a spot in the surrounding caverns to commence the project. Okay, let's go have a look. We need to oh, we have forgotten riches here. How come everywhere I go there's just money? This is getting a bit weird, isn't it? So, let's embark on a pilgrimage. The monks cease their shoving and hush. Torchlight glints off stone and amber. You descend. Now we can step from the path. The youthful naturalist has set up shop somewhere deep in the lesser visited caverns of St. Stalactite. The warrens ring with forge noise. I do not have spiraling regrets. Oh, equip your shell of regret. Okay. If a human fell into these pools, there would be no human. Walls sweat, ceilings drip. There's unbearable heat from the pits, the machines, the monks filling the tunnels, labouring. The youthful naturalist stands upon a ledge overhanging the amber. His shadow is enormous, cast by the molten radiance below. He lifts one arm, commanding the brothers, and his arm's shadow sweeps across crags, engines, pulleys, faces in the crowd, and in the rock. Here is my slaughtered shell. He'll give me 2 bizarre, 1 caleptic toxicology, 1 monstrous anatomy, and 1 spiraling regrets. Not sure how I feel about this. Forge the Royal Navy's diving bell. Glass, metal, flesh. May the pools boil in amber ecstasy. It's going to take 1 whirring contraption, 4 crackling devices, 300 Carganian light bulbs. Do you remember in a previous episode where I was like, when the hell am I ever going to need 300 Carganian light bulbs? Here we go. A corresponding sounder, some unearthly fossils, and the 7 strong bag labour. Wonderful. Hold the centre. Pin it with a finger. There, as the beams elaborate themselves, rivets flashing, copper folding, monks drinking and sipping, sometimes into the amber. Let them drink more, forget the pain, forget the flesh, until it forgets that it's flesh. Pliable and pungent, powerful as a blast furnace. The youthful naturalist barks orders, shouting above the thunder in your blood, and the brothers haul upon chains. Are you still holding it? There, right there. With 1 finger pressed precisely, you feel the pulse like a vein in a throat. How it throbs. Clanking, clattering, shimmering with amber that beautifully oozes down the metal plates. The design comes together, bolt by bolt. Bone by industrial bone, crowned with light bulbs, filaments for a nervous system, your finger still pressing down. It's like holding a ribbon, helping someone tie a bow. And when they finish the knot, you slip free. Suspended above the pool like a great fish captured in a net, lifted from the liquid, dripping, glowing red hot as the iron cools. The diving bell. The diving bell is whole and perfect. "It's finished," says the youthful naturalist, slumping back against the cavern wall. "I can't believe it's finished." His skin is scorched, his arms blistered, his eyes bloodshot. "But it's finished. We did it. It's done. Our own little baby diving bell. Now there's just one final thing. Every Z-worthy vessel needs a name, even a little baby one. I've been considering a few. We could choose the Medusas Dream? Medusa, as in jellyfish. Clade Meduosoa. I love jellyfish. Choose the Finch to honour my mentor. He studied finches on the surface. Or we can call it the Delight too. Why not rub it in the Prester's eye? I quite like the name, the Medusa's Dream, so let's go with that. In the Royal Navy's original plans, the diving bell could hold 1 passenger. Yours can hold 2. Spherical, wired with components from the Carnet, responsive to touch, temperature, tenderness, or its absence. The metal flexes like living muscle. Its eye is a porthole. Its heart is a compass engineered by the burly surveyor, balanced in a delicate amber bubble. The compass needles, spines extracted from deep Z beasts, spin in spirals that would seem deranged without the shell of regret to guide your understanding. With a heave-ho, the abbot commander hoists the bell. He needs all his 6 arms to carry it back to your ship. The other monks kneel by the shaping pools, thanking Saint Stalactite. "The Medusa's Dream," says the youthful naturalist. "I like it. Discuss the diving bell with a naturalist on your ship to continue. Now let's abandon the path, return to Ashhaven, return to the ship. Let's compare notes with the youthful naturalist and discuss the diving bell. We need to plot a sailing route. Now that you have the Medusa's Dream, where will you dive?" He shuffles through the detective's files. "These give me a general sense, but we'll need to chart the currents. The undersea flows in a spiral, you know. Shepherd's Wash, to the Sea of Voices, to the Salt Steppe, then the Pillared Sea, Storm Bones, and the Fifth City's home waters, and then back into Shepherd's Wash, with the snares in the centre, of course. The compass built into the Medusa's Dream spins wildly. It can sense melancholy with the shell of regret. We'll be able to fine-tune the readings. My old fieldwork on Mutton Island should also come in handy. Wherever the jellyfish swarm, there's sorrow in the water. Remember to equip your shell of regret. If the shell isn't equipped, you won't find the ebb and flow of regret in your opportunity deck. Okay, so I assume we need to go to all of the different places? In order to determine where to dive, you'll need to chart the undersea. Although the currents may flow in a spiral, you can chart the regions in any order. Okay, that's not so bad. Equip the shell of regret to equip your melancholy sensitivities, and search for jellyfish in your opportunity deck. Once you encounter the jellyfish while you're sailing, you'll be able to chart sorrows in the corresponding Z region. Right, let's head back to the home waters and see what comes up. That seems like a smart idea, because right now we're in Godfall, aren't we? Let's just go back to London. Alright, if we're lucky, we'll get it on the first draw. Ahaha. The ebb and flow of regret. Behind your ship, the swirling waters glow. Iridescent jellyfish swarm in your wake. Their tentacles seem to trace sigils beneath the Z foam. Purples pulsate. Pinks splash against your hull. Greens shimmer under the surface. Bioluminescent. Involuntary teardrops run down your cheeks. You can read tragedies in the Z. Each ripple is a loved one lost. Each wave, a hurtful word spoken too hastily. Each spiral, shame. "Hold this course," says the youthful naturalist. "I'll record the readings. My Z-fairing's a bit low. Let's put on my Captain of the Z's outfit. How does that change things? 70%. That seems wonderful, doesn't it? Let's hope we pass. God damn it. Shame flows into denial. Denial laps against folly and hubris. Folly and hubris join like two rivers, meeting where errors flourish. Not this way, shouts the naturalist. But it's too late. Can't see through the teardrops that are oozing from your eyes. The shell of regret weighs down heavier every moment. The compass on the Medusas Dream swivels, twitches, and comes to a rest. All its needles are pointing unhelpfully at you. See if we can try that again. I'm not sure if it's going to come up again for this area. Maybe we have to leave and come back. Who knows? Let's just keep going back to the home waters for now. Okay, we're in home waters now. See if we can get another ebb and flow. Okay, we've docked at Wolfstack. Let's set back out again, I guess. I just clicked my deck. See what would happen here, and this is slightly worrying, isn't it? The Two of Bats, a courier, somber livery, approaches you in the street. They hand you a note bearing the seal of Mr. Irons. I've never seen this before. But then, worryingly, I also have another one. The Three of Roses. Am I unaccountably peckish? How did this happen? I don't know how that happened. I'm sure that's come up somewhere, and I wasn't paying attention. Oh dear. Let's just ignore that for now. We don't want to follow down these routes. Let's go back out to sea and pretend that's not happened. Chart a course? Let's chart a course to the Karna, but we'll go around. We'll go through Home Waters, Salt Steps, through Shepherd's Wash, and the Sea of Voices. Yeah, that seems... Stormbones and the Pillared Sea? We'll go along. I think that's just... It's going to take longer, but it might be okay. If we get lucky, this won't be that bad. Okay, I may have been being dumb, and I've suddenly realised. When I changed my outfit to the Captain of the Z's, what I actually did was take off my shell, alright? Let's just not talk about that. It took me a little bit longer than it should have to realise why it wasn't showing up. Damn it! Look, I'm not a very smart man. So now, if I press this and it comes up straight away, I'm going to feel like an idiot. Damn it. Okay, we're in Shepherd's Wash again. Let's see if we can record the readings. The fairy quality gives me a 70% chance. I think it's as high as it'll go. I'm going to double check. I'm sure it is. It is. Alright. Hey, we succeeded. The naturalist is consulting the detective's notes again. He's written about amber here. Quite a few studies. All failures. Analysing the stone tentacle key's composition. Origin? Rubbery. Indecisive. But look. From the swarming jellyfish, he nets a specimen. Its tentacles are brittle, caked with amber sludge. They aren't normally like this. There's something in the water. He looks towards Godfall, through the fog. Runoff from the shaping pools, I'd bet. My last penny, if I had one left. Sometimes the under-Z thickens around your vessel. More sludge, dead fish, Z-birds stuck. Trash dumped from ships. Congealed. In the floating amber, you discern whirls. In the Medusas Dream, clicks. Compass needles, aligned. That's one down. Let's keep on sailing. We are in the Sea of Voices. Damn it, we failed. Okay, now we're in the Salt Step. Let's try again. Yeah, we succeeded. East. You sail as far east as you dare. The jellyfish will attend you, but the compass on the Medusas Dream barely moves. The naturalist scratches his head. I don't understand. We're not getting any good readings. Time stretches. Resources dwindle. Your crew murmurs, concerned about the days wasted pursuing what? No islands, no other ships, only a glow on the horizon. Sometimes it's green, sometimes gold, but you're no closer now than you were weeks ago. Your provisions won't last. You finally reverse course, and the compass spasms. The needles won't stop spinning as you navigate back to familiar waters away from the undiscovered. Now I see, says the naturalist. These are subtle sorrows. Yearnings. Okay, that's a few places down. See if I can get to the Carnot before I end up dying. My troubled waters is quite high right now. And we are briefly without terror. Let's stop in the Naturalist. See what we're missing. So we still need to do Home Waters, the Sea of Voices, the Pillared Sea, Stormbones, and the Snares. The Pillared Sea is quite close. Let's see if we can get there. Charter Course. The Pillared Sea is Irem, I think. Maybe if I go to the Void's Approach? Or the Principles of Coral. Let's go to the Principles of Coral and see where it takes us. I think we have to go through the Pillared Sea to get to the Principles of Coral. Here we go. Trace a route along the currents. This will take you from the Salt Steppes to Stormbones through the Pillared Sea. Let's do that. And then we just have to hope we can actually pass the test. It's 70%. You wouldn't think I'd be failing this much. Here we are, the Pillared Sea. I still love this artwork up here. Let's cross our fingers and hope we pull the card. We did. Right. 70% chance. Chart the sorrows of the Pillared Sea. Succeeded. Cold. Calm. Water like glass. If the water isn't frozen. You peer overboard. Lights flicker under the ice. An aurora submerged. Emerald bands dance across the naturalist's face. What does he see? What do you? A chill slides down your neck just like a dagger's tip. Cold, calm, caressing, unhurried. He shivers and rubs his arms for warmth. Then he starts to take notes. He doesn't share them, but you will read them together later when you reach another port. You will stand at a crossroads and study the map you've both made. When he reads his own notes, he will reap. You've charted nearly half the spiral. We're getting there. I will run out of actions, I feel, which is slightly worrying. I'm also going to make a note that the game is running particularly bad today because there is an event that is currently running about hunting a whale in the Gant Pole. I am obviously not doing right now because I'm doing this, but it's making, I think it's making the game run quite badly. Stormbones, have we done Stormbones? I guess I'm about to find out. No, the Ebb and Flow of Regret. A modest challenge, let's see if we can make it work. Aha! Overhead, the imposter moon is waxing. You can see Port Cecil in the distance. Round boats, shacks, clustered like barnacles, and the factories, ever-smoking chimneys. The fiery glow that renders raw scintillate into profit. When the moonish light catches the water just right, the naturalist cries, "There!" and starts to scribble. All the crests on the waves are silver tears running away from the island with the tide. The principles of coral are weeping. Essences pour from sobbing shores. Each path they trace through the Z, every trickling stream, gleams like a network of shining veins in black marble, until smoke from the iron and misery smothers the moon. And we made our way into the snares, and the ebb and flow of regret is here. Let's cross our fingers and hope we get it. Innumerable crags jut from the water, razor sharp. Even more lurk below. Don't lose the jellyfish, calls the naturalist, taking measurements. Wrapped around the crags, mangled metal, ripped from luckless ships. The corsair's forest brims with blood and phosphorescence. The Medusas Dream jitters, compass twitching to port, starboard, needles spinning forward and aft. Death everywhere. Steering through the labyrinth, your own thoughts twist around the rocks running down stalagmites like fingers down a spine. Lower into memory. Lower between massacres. It's like sailing through a great sea urchin's barbs, each tipped with another poisonous recollection. And we mapped the melancholy coordinates of the snares. Let's see if we can make it through without dying. Okay, we're in the Sea of Voices. Let's see if we can get our ebb and flow here. A few things here, but let's try and do the ebb and flow of regret. 70%. Flotsam and jetsam. Shipwreck debris. Wailing waves, seaweed that speaks, stones that moan on the seabed, babbling about every drowned sailor, every vessel sunk, whose algae-eaten bones and driftwood planks now babble too. Everyone can hear it, but when you listen carefully, and when your thoughts are lucid, clear as tropical water, through which you can stare fathoms down to see skulls in the sand, then the undersea won't stop talking. 20 lashes, hungry sharks, stranded, abandoned, left to starve, dumped with the chum, don't know their widows yet. Couldn't swim back. Mutiny. 30 lashes, 40. Tell my sister, tell my son, tell my fiancé that I still. The naturalist records, but doesn't comment himself. The compass on the Medusas Dream shivers, ecstatically. Now I do believe there is only one place left that I need to pass this test, and that is in home waters. Let me just pick up this message in a bottle first. Godfall again. Lovely. Okay, we made it back to home waters. Let's see if we can get lucky. There it is, the ebb and flow of regret. 70% chance again. And we succeeded. When you're this close to London, countless sailing lanes criss-cross. Merchant vessels, naval corvettes, tramp steamers, and the occasional yacht. Not to mention the pirates who ply these waters, daring to pillage right under Her Majesty's nose. Dockers press-ganged, shipments seized, debts, farewells, arrests, more debts. Grief clogs the fifth city's coastline like sewage encrusting the stolen river. As you pass Hunter's Keep, a frost moth alights on your ship. Then another. More flutter around the naturalist. He waves them away, struggling to take notes. It's the tomb colonies all over again, he complains. One got into his mouth. He spits it out with a grimace. So I think now we should be able to talk to him, unless I've missed one. Let's find out. Discuss the diving bell. Here we go. Collate your completed charts. You know the undersea's sorrows, like your own. London's misery flows into Shepherd's Wash. Despairs borne by sickly amber tides, polluted with debris that keens off Polythreme's coast. Carganian vessels cut through hopes lost overboard, hopes that will float, frozen, drowned toward Irem. North, northwest, corpses for the storm bones, dead dreams, strangled truths, regrets. Back around the snares, sinking deeper with each wave that pushes them down, like a victim forced underwater, struggling in a bath until the struggling stops. Sweet silence as the blood circles the drain. When sorrows are cast into the sea, this is where they finally end up, says the naturalist. He points to a collated map. The coordinates drift, but they're always where history dies. Oblivion at the spiral's center. Now that we know, we can take the Medusa's Dream. He rolls up the map with shaking hands. His flesh is clammy. His physique, despite the tinned eels, has grown gaunt. He tries to smile. Tries. Care to go for a dive? Okay, prepare to dive with the Medusa's Dream. You have the coordinates. All you need to do is sail there. You've charted the undersea's sorrows. With their fluctuating coordinates at your command, you can now enter the spiral at any point and find your way to the center. Equip the shell of regret to attune yourself once more to the compass on your diving bell. Then search your opportunity deck while you're sailing to locate the spiral. You can sail anywhere you please. No matter which region you're exploring, your compass will eventually point you in the right direction. You will need to be in optimal health with 0 wounds, however, to attempt the dive. Am I hurt? I'm unaccountably peckish for some reason. I still don't quite understand that. I think I'm okay. If I can't see it, I think it's at 0. Okay, so I think I need to go back to London anyway, so I'm going to quickly just pop back to London. Okay, so we're back on the waters. And hopefully we'll find it relatively quickly. I'm not entirely sure what we're waiting for here. I'm going to Godfall. It was the place that just came to my head, so let's see if the card will pop up. There it is. Spiraling into sorrow. The compass on the Medusas Dream is singing. Its needles quiver, resonant with a frequency that makes your shell vibrate. Your heart throbs in harmony. Your teeth chatter, drawn to the thrilling amber. They would fly from your mouth like magnets, if permitted. Storm must be dreaming. Just dreams, but nightmares. Swells surge, your vessel rolls, crew scrambling on tilted deck. "We're here!" cries the youthful naturalist. For this expedition you must be in optimal health to stand a chance at survival. You will also need to bring along the appalling secret that you received from the Court of the Wakeful Eye. Once you dive, you'll be occupied for a significant time. But I think right now I'm going to end this episode here, because it says I'll be occupied for a significant amount of time and I've been going for quite a while, so thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel, it really does help me make these videos, and as always, I'll see you next time.